Hi, this is Jenny Pivor with Jenny's Muse, and I have Lisa Abbate with me, and we're going to take a little exploration into hypnosis today, and Lisa is a certified hypnotist. Mm-hmm. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you. So excited to be here.
So I think my phone is going off, but I'm gonna just ignore that. Okay, so anyway, Lisa, I know that you haven't always been a hypnotist.
No.
What brought you to this, and what is the most exciting thing about it for you?
Okay. Well, you're right. I wasn't. It isn't like you when you're a little kid and someone says, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" and you say, "I want to be a hypnotist." That did not happen in my life. But I do come from like a corporate background. I was a technical writer, and I worked in the software industry. And while there were a lot of things that were really rewarding about it, there was something really missing for me, like with a human connection. It just felt very dry. And so with adversity comes opportunity. And there was a lot of illness in my family. We had a lot of pretty difficult things to go through, and hypnotherapy really helped me. I would put headphones on. I would find hypnotists and audios to listen to every night, and sometimes it was so much to just put the headphones on, but I did. And it really helped me stay positive. It helped me multitask and take care of all of the things that I needed to take care of in my life and be supportive to other people. Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, I mean, that sounds a lot like meditation, right? That's meditation.
In a way it is. I think meditation, you don't need to focus. With hypnotherapy, you're focusing on a topic. You're focusing on your self-talk in whatever area you're working on, whether it's sadness, whether it's depression, whether it's healthier eating, trying to exercise more. So it's more about a topic, but it is related to meditation, because in meditation, you get into a different brainwave state. And with hypnosis or hypnotherapy, it's also about getting into a different brainwave state where you're more open and receptive to things that you actually want in your life.
So this is interesting, and I want to get back to you, but as long as we're talking about this, we should go with it. My way of thinking about hypnosis is that someone gives you a directive, and it changes you. But what you're talking about is self-directive. So is that a different kind of hypnosis, or is that all the same?
Well, there's a couple. There's the hypnosis that we see in the movies, or the Vegas, the Vegas version,
right?
Which is called stage hypnosis, where people get other people to do silly things, or for entertainment. It's more for entertainment,
right?
But the hypnotherapy or hypnosis that I do and that I'm interested in for myself is more about transformation and personal growth, and about using it to get what you want in your life, whether it's more peacefulness, whether it's working on your self-talk because you want a new career or you're going in a different direction. Athletes use a type of hypnosis in their creative visualization, visualizing winning or visualizing making that goal, whether they're in the Olympics or a local runner.
So how is hypnosis different from visualization? Yes, thank you.
Well, it's guided. So when you go through a hypnotherapy session, there are steps that we follow to get from beginning to coming out of the hypnotic state, or the deep relaxation, which is really a lot about what it is. So there are different steps that a hypnotherapist goes through as they're guiding you through. There's no, all hypnosis really is self-hypnosis with someone guiding you through it. It isn't about control, or with the hypnosis that I do, you're always in control, you're relaxed, and you're having someone help you shift your thinking related to whatever topic you are working on.
That's really good, because I think that's probably a fear that prevents people from trying it, because they're afraid of losing control, or that someone is going to take control of their mind.
Yeah, it's not about mind control, or it's really about getting what you want in your life. So it's about self-talk, because we all have forms of self-talk that are useful to our goals and our happiness, and self-talk that is not useful. So it's about shifting the self-talk that's more useful to what you want to bring about in your life, to build some momentum around a goal that you're working towards. And it's really, I mean, it is all about self-talk, and I've heard people say that, oh, I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid, and my take is that it's all Kool-Aid. You just want to drink the good stuff.
Yeah.
Drink the Kool-Aid that's good for you, that's going to help you, not, the chemically laden stuff that creates, bad stuff in your body, or negativity. Yeah.
Yeah, bad energy.
Bad
right.
energy. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I mean, the topic of the show is creating happiness in your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there is reality.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there are negative things that you have to deal with. And, that's just how it is.
Yes.
So what do you do with those things?
Well, you acknowledge that they're there, but you also look to where you want to be. And that, I mean, it isn't like bad things happen. Things that are very sad happen, like we've talked about. And you don't want to, you still need to deal with those things. There are things that you have to work through. But at a certain point, you can also look at your life and what you want from where you want to be. So the focus is on your next step, not staying in the grief or the sadness. And that's a process. So it isn't, everyone has their own process with something like that. Mm-hmm. So there's no secret formula or magic pill, but it is about finding a way to move forward, whether you've dealt with trauma or whether you simply want a new career and you're trying to have a positive mindset around that.
So speaking of a pill that you could take, mm-hmm. I mean, that would be very nice. Mm-hmm. But, when you do take a pill for something, you have to take it at regular intervals. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what are the intervals that one would need to do self-hypnosis for it to be effective? Okay. If that's your pill.
Well, if that's the pill, to me, there's no end in a way. So in other words, there's no end to working on your personal growth or your self-talk. I always look at it as being on a spiral, and so we're always like moving up the spiral, and sometimes you get around to where you're in the same place, just a little bit above, and you can look at how far you've come, and you can also see that maybe you need to go a distance, but in looking at how far you come, you know that you've made progress, and that the possibilities that you want are happening. So it's acknowledging where you are. So in other words, there's no magic pill. You might work on something in your life and then decide, okay, I've made some progress on this topic. I've worked with, I can give you an example of someone I worked with on healthy eating, and a gentleman who really wanted to eat healthier and put better foods and pay more attention to what he was putting in his body. And he achieved that and went a certain distance, and then decided he wanted to work on something else. So he shifted it to working on kindness, because he was an entrepreneur and he felt like he wasn't being really kind or grateful to his employees who were helping him achieve his dreams. So you can also work on something for a while and then make a shift to what's next.
That sounds really great. Well, I can't wait to have you try this on me. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do that in a few minutes,
okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So back to you. Mm-hmm. So you were a tech writer, and mm-hmm. you had these things in your life, mm-hmm. and you started doing this kind of meditative self-hypnosis.
Yes.
And then you decided to go to school and help other people. Is
yes.
that how it?
So I got a certification. It's actually something you can learn about online. You don't have to get a certification, but I got a certification because I wanted to work with other people and learn as much as I could. And there's no end to learning in this area, learning how the mind works, learning how you can grow and change. And really it's about, the topic of your show is about taking charge of your own happiness.
Right.
And so for me, there are a few things that you can do to take charge of your own happiness. There's a huge list, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
to focus on a few things, the biggest thing really is your self-talk. And paying attention to how you speak to yourself. And if you're speaking to yourself in a way that you wouldn't want your best friend talk to, or you wouldn't want someone that you cared about spoken to maybe look at a way to change how you're talking to yourself, is probably the biggest thing. And even in that self-talk, it might be talking to yourself, talking down to yourself, or saying that you can't do something that you're trying to do. Does that ring?
Well, it does,
a bell at
but
all?
sometimes your best friend will tell you things that, no one else will tell you. So,
Yes, but it
sometimes
doesn't
you
mean
have to
it's
listen to that.
Yes, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily negative or harmful. So I'm kind of talking about someone who might put down your goals or your dreams.
Not supportive, yes.
Not supportive. So truth is one thing, support is another. And if there's someone in your life or your own self-talk that is speaking to you in a negative way about what you want, you need to find a way to shift that. So,
Well, that's interesting. I was talking to a friend yesterday about slimming down your life, like she's going through a thing where she's getting rid of all of her belongings and slimming down her
Declutter.
closet, and she's looking at her friends and she's eliminating people who are negative in her life, which that's a really good thing to do. And it's kind of like that.
yes,
Yes.
sometimes you need to do that too.
Yeah.
Or sometimes those people can change because they're working on themselves as well. But there's definitely a paring down of negativity in all forms.
Right.
That is really, really important. And sometimes that's hard when it involves other people.
So in your observation, when people start getting rid of negativity in their lives, in one area, does it affect other areas too?
It affects everything
Yeah.
because what you focus on grows, what you focus on expands. So if you're able to shift the negative to the positive, you're going to bring in so much more of the positive, and move in a direction that you want. And maybe you'll start noticing synchronicities, positive things that can lead you from one step to another. So once you ease out of the negative, you can bring in the positive. It kind of comes in more. And like I said, what you focus on grows, or what you focus on expands. So if you're focusing on the positive and letting go of some of the negative, it can't help but create a better situation or something in your life.
So sometimes I think that if you change one little thing and take that first step, then everything, it's like a house of cards, everything goes from that step, but you have to take the first step, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it's that one little step could be just getting help with something. It could be, it doesn't have to be a huge monumental task. You're talking about decluttering. It could be getting a little bit of help in your home by going through some papers or changing something in a room, or it could be just taking a walk more often and getting out. So there are a lot of different things you can do. It doesn't have to be, I'm only going to feel better if I change the world,
Well, you have to have a certain mindset to get there, because that makes me think of another friend I have who is just the opposite of the one that I just mentioned. And this particular friend likes to have everything around her that she's ever acquired in her entire life.
Okay.
And she's kind of lost in her stuff there. And when I see her, she says, I really should clean up my stuff. And I'm thinking, and but she doesn't want to, because there's a certain comfort level, and sometimes people, I think, do what they're comfortable with because that's what they're comfortable with.
If it's what they're comfortable with and they're happy,
then that's okay.
Yeah, but if
okay.
it's sometimes we do things that we're comfortable with, but we're not happy, so it's expanding that comfort zone. And when you can make one step, you've actually expanded your comfort zone. So it's expanding it a little by little. Like there are people who would not be comfortable doing what we're doing here today. Or we were talking about, we were a little bit nervous.
Are we comfortable? Are we comfortable? So.
I'm more comfortable than I thought I would be.
Yeah.
But it's about, if we never did it, then we would never make that expansion. There would never be that growth or expansion or moving on to what's next. They would just be dreaming about doing it.
Right, and sometimes not doing those things is an excuse so that you don't have to try and you don't have to find out what would happen if you did it. So, so
being afraid of failure. Or,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, you know,
yeah.
I mean, you know, worst case, I can just like not put this show up if it turns out really bad.
Right. Someone might not ever see this. Right.
Right.
Besides the gentleman behind the camera.
Right. Hi there. So, I'm not sure how our time is going to. Should we start our?
Let's see what the time is. I don't know what time we started.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
But we should probably do our thing here.
So we were talking about, though, very briefly, we were talking about happiness and a few things that we can do, and changing our self-talk is that. And then, but there was also a big thing, I think, especially in our country, is comparing with others. And so comparing, you know, one friend comparing her closet with the other closet.
Yeah.
Right? So it's that comparison, that comparative thinking that can also infringe upon happiness. So it's about being okay with where you are, even if you want to change it, and not comparing to that other person's
Well, I guess
closet.
I need a lot of self-talk because I'm always thinking that, you know, I need to do this to improve or that to improve. And I get that idea from the world around me.
We all do. I mean, but the bottom line is that we're all okay. You know, the bottom line is that there is nothing wrong with you and there is nothing wrong with me. There may be things that we want to change to increase our happiness, but at the core of who we are, we're okay. You know, there's the magazines tell us what's wrong with us and then show us products and pictures of products, to make us think of how we'll be better. But really, the foundation, and it's what I tell everyone, is that there's nothing wrong with us. There might be some things we want to tweak or change or grow, but we can, you know, if we can just get okay, think that we're all right just the way we are. We're getting a signal. Okay. So should we, what we can do, we have a little bit of time left, so we can do a brief, I would say a combination of a guided meditation and hypnotherapy session. Normally it's a much longer session, but we can show people.
I think it would be good to show people what's involved in it.
Okay.
As long as I don't start, you know, talking like a chicken.
No, you'll be just relaxed. Okay. So really also if you are maybe both legs down, just so you don't cut off any circulation.
Right.
So you're comfortable. And then you can close your eyes and we'll do a little bit of relaxation, and then we'll move into a different kind of self-talk. So taking a deep breath in, and people can, you know, at home can follow this. You obviously don't want to be listening to this and driving. So taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Yeah. And then on the next breath, a deep belly breath for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And then visualizing on your next breath in as you breathe comfortably and easily, relaxing. And every time I say down deeper or deeper down, you relax a little further. As you imagine a massive, beautiful golden orb floating down over you, encompassing you, cocooning you in comfort and ease And with every breath in, you relax a little further, relaxing across the forehead and the jaw, and even letting the head drop if you so choose. Just so there's no strain or stress, letting the neck drop so the head can ease down a little onto the chest and relax the back of the neck. Just an easing, a relaxing. And as you breathe in the energy from that orb, you go down deeper and deeper down into this state of relaxation, perhaps even of suspended animation, where the mind is focused and listening to the sound of my voice, that the body is relaxed, at ease, the arms feeling so heavy, the head perhaps feeling heavy, on the neck, feeling the stillness, and moving now, imagining yourself at the top of a staircase, 10 steps, and looking down this beautiful marble staircase and knowing that with every step down you take, you go a little further into that ease, that relaxed state, breathing in the energy from that orb, feeling rejuvenation, restoration at the cellular level, and easing, going from that top step, taking one step down, 9. When I reach 1, you'll feel completely relaxed. 8, 7, 6, feeling relaxed and calm. 5, peaceful, lighthearted. 4, 3, perhaps even sensing a change in the air quality, a purity. 2, and 1. And as you step from the first step to the ground, looking down at your feet in the grass, feeling the lushness, and feeling in yourself a deep relaxation in body and in spirit, in body and in thought. Feeling now a personal sense of well-being that perhaps you haven't felt in some time. A deep sense of well-being, of knowing in your soul that there is nothing wrong with you. Feeling a restoration flowing in, absorbing it up through the feet from this beautiful lush grass. An ease, and knowing that you can bring this ease, this feeling of relaxation, of personal well-being into your life, absorbing it, holding it, knowing deep in your heart that there is nothing wrong with you. It's wonderful to want to grow and evolve, but knowing that you're just perfect and okay the way that you are. And every day in every way as you move forward, knowing that the better it gets, the better it gets. No effort you've ever made can be discounted. all efforts count. Your efforts have added up, creating momentum and flow, and going forward, you'll notice new synchronicities popping up and choosing to explore them. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 5 to 1, and when I reach 1, your eyes will open and you'll feel refreshed and relaxed. 5, feeling relaxed in the body. 4, feeling that internal smile. 3, noticing the arms and the feet and the eyelids perhaps beginning to flutter. 2 and 1, aware and back here in the room, eyes open. Hi.
Hi. So I have to say, I was having a hard time not cracking up because your voice is so relaxing, and I was picturing the crew falling asleep and on the floor. And everybody would just be asleep and we'd be in big trouble here.
That would be a lot to edit down later.
Right, and then the big orb, it was like coming down on me, like this big chicken egg thing. I was like, but yes, I feel very relaxed, and it was lovely.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a very abbreviated version, and I also often use music, background music, where people can put headphones on and have that music piped in through the headphones, and then I use a microphone so that it does block out a lot of outside stimulus and sound.
Yeah, but your head is the hard thing to block
out. It is. So it's an easing,
We don't have a lot of time left. So now that I'm done with my nap, I think that we have to, get on with this. I would like you to tell people how they can get a hold of you and what you can do and what you're available for. All right.
Well, you can actually call my office number. It's 978-836-7687. I have an office in Swampscott and also in Marblehead. So there are 2 places that I can see you, but I definitely do a phone consultation first before having someone come in for a session. Can also go to my website at lisaabbate.com. It's Lisa, Lisa, and then my last name, ABBATE.com, for more information. And what else? Anything else?
Are you available for groups or what kind of work?
Yes, I actually I do some group hypnotherapy or guided meditations, in addition to doing one-to-one work with individuals. I can also work at companies where I can go in and do a group hypnotherapy session, not for entertainment, but for a group being more productive together, or coming in sometimes when there is a lot of difficulty in a company, like they have a big goal and a big push, and they want to maintain some balance. So going in and working with them at that level.
Well, I feel very calm now, and I could see the benefit of having you come in and just calm down an entire department, which everyone would be all mellowed out. That would be very nice. Yeah.
So it is all about the self-talk and changing your brainwave state. So what we did together was, I don't know if we had enough time to totally change your brainwave state, but it is about changing that state. Oh, we're getting signaled by the gentleman behind the camera.
Right. So, well, Lisa, I want to thank you for coming and being my guest on Jenny's Muse.
Thank you.
And I hope that people out there will contact Lisa, or look it up online, and work with your self-talk and create your happiness as you see fit. So,
good way to put it.
Yeah. So, anyway, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.